I'm Meredith Blackwell, and I'm interviewing Blaise Jumbam, who's from Cameroon, and he is in the lab of Kathy Aim right now. He's been there only about 2 months, and he's from the English-speaking part of the Cameroon.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk to him about how he got here to the United States, why, and some of the things that that made him become a mycologist back in Cameroon. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk up.
All right. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. How I got to mycology,
Yeah.
and how I even got to know Kathy Aim.
Well, wait, let's start earlier.
Okay.
When you were born and then you grew up going to school,
Okay.
and were you interested in fungi then?
All right. Okay.
The first fungus you ever saw?
Okay. I was actually born in 1982 in Bamenda, which is like the capital of one of the English-speaking regions of Cameroon. And I pursued nursery education, went on to primary school, started in Jakiri in the northwest region, and then I moved on to Yaoundé, which is the capital of Cameroon, because my parents, my dad is a police officer, so he was working there. I had to move there. I did part of my primary education there, went back to the northwest region where I completed, and then started with secondary education in Batibo, and then moved on to Bamenda again, where I had my ordinary levels in the sciences.
And so that's like high school, what we would call high school.
Secondary school, and then I moved to high school.
Oh, okay. High school would be
Yeah.
like college.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I again did my sciences in the high school, and I had my advanced level in the sciences, and moved on to the university. My university life, it's a bit funny because after high school, I was advised by an uncle to do the social sciences. So I went to the University of Chang, where I did social sciences for 2 years. And I realized it wasn't my thing because I knew I was a biologist from my base.
You know, that's funny because I started out in political science, and I knew that wasn't my thing after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you too.
Yeah. And so I had to drop back from school in 2003. I spent like 1 year in the house, but I was doing some petty trading. Then the following year in 2004, 2005, I applied to the University of Boya, where again, I thought maybe in Chang it wasn't going because it's a French system. Then I went back to Boya and I applied still to do social sciences because this is what was paying in the market, and the family, you know, back home, they want you to do something that you can help the family, as soon as possible. So I tried that. It didn't go, and in Boya again, when I applied, I wasn't admitted in the first batch of admission for that year. But then there was a second chance to reapply. So I did, and I was admitted in the Department of Botany and Plant Pathology and Plant Physiology in the University of Boya. So I said, yeah, maybe this is just the doing of nature that brings me back to my science base.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it. I did
So
botany.
you were kind of forced into it.
Not forced
Not
into
forced,
it, but based on my results from the high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a science student, so
Yeah.
they just placed me back there.
So your aptitude.
And I willingly, and I was happy. I got back to it, and it was so good. I finished my undergraduate in 3 years as prescribed, and I don't just want to like boast, but I was the best student in my department at the undergraduate. I worked for 2 years. I worked at the Smithsonian Institute in the Korob National Park, and then went back to teach in high school for 1 year, and then went back to the University of Boya for my master's program again in botany. And resume, I did well, came out as best student, and then I got into agroforestry with an NGO.
Okay.
But-
What NGO?
Meredith, environment, the foundation, the Environment and Rural Development Foundation
Okay, rural
in Boya.
development. Okay.
Yeah, so I got into working with them on agroforestry under funding from Trees for the Future in the US,
Oh,
here in the
okay,
United
yeah,
States.
yeah. So when did you see your first fungus?
Okay, my first fungus, I think I saw fungus when I was pretty much a kid, like
Mushrooms.
It's mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
It's very common in where I
Yeah,
come from. Yeah, it's very common. We used to eat them. We used to go out, do mushrooming, collect them, and
There are no
I'm
poisonous ones, or
There are poisonous ones,
but you knew.
but we knew that this is not edible and this is edible. So when we go out, we go for the edible ones.
So you were a good taxonomist early.
Yeah, unconsciously.
Yeah.
I would say good taxonomist unconsciously. Yeah, and after maybe 2 years of work with this NGO, I had this job with the government in the National Herbarium of Cameroon. And so this is to say how I got to doing mycology now. I was there as a botanist, and Kathy came over to Cameroon. They had to do this work in the JAR, Biosphere
Right.
Reserve, and she needed somebody, a volunteer, to go to the field with her and the team. So I opted and I went and demonstrated my interest in mycology. We collected mushrooms, and that is how I got to, so we talked, one thing led to another, one thing led to another, and then I find myself at Puerto now.
So you met
Doing a PhD.
Rachel, and she went to the Cameroon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were all in
Yeah.
the Cameroon team. Yeah.
We always say Cameroons, but you say the Cameroon, or what do you call your country?
The country is called Cameroon.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has a bilingual nature. I think it's just like Canada, one of the two bilingual countries in
Yeah.
the world, where you have the English and the French-speaking regions. But the English-speaking part of Cameroon is like the minority. So we have 10 regions, but the English-speaking, it's just 2 regions, and the rest of the 8 are the French-speaking.
So I wonder if Americans started saying the Cameroons because they were putting all the parts together or something.
the Cameroons.
So
because-
historically, they would have been.
because they brought the two
Yeah.
parts together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat. So what are you going to do in Purdue?
In Puerto,
What project?
I came in initially to work on the saprotrophs of the JAR Biosphere Reserve. But along the line, talking with my supervisor, my advisor, we've decided to settle on something else. So I'm going to be working on fungi that are associated with nematode cysts.
Oh.
That-
Yeah.
Yeah, that like
Is it in the wild or in crops?
in crops, on the Irish potatoes.
Yeah.
Like here in the US, we know it's a highly prized crop, and yields are being affected because of nematodes. So, and we have learned that there is fungi that is associated with the cyst. So we are trying to like isolate these fungi, characterize them, and see how we can use them to like do biological control against the nematodes. Yeah.
Good. So I like working with fungi that are associated with animals. I started out as a zoologist.
Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting. So do you have family with you in West Lafayette?
I have a family, but
But they're not in Indiana.
they are not in Indiana with me.
Yeah.
So
How do you like Indiana?
Indiana, it's a wonderful place.
Is it?
People have asked me this, and I say I like it particularly, but many people are surprised that I say I like Indiana because it's like a royal. It's not like developed like you see in Chicago,
Yeah.
New York, and all of that. And I say I like it because to me it has a tropical nature. It's like the green city. It's like a green town.
You wait till the winter time. You wait till the winter time.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to winter. I'm actually excited. because that would be my first. I've never seen snow.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get into the winter.
Are you taking many classes at Purdue?
I came in the summer, so I've been doing like much of laboratory work. I'm beginning my classes in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah. So that's really great to have you over here. I was just going to tell you when I moved to that part of the country one time, one of my professors said I was moving to the corn and hog biome of the world. And so
Yeah.
there is still some wooded area and,
Yeah.
and some wild area.
In
So
Indiana.
he was not quite right, but I think it's a good place for you to be. You'll learn a lot.
it is.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
Kathy's lab is great.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
very dynamic.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, Blaise. It was really nice to talk to you,
Thank
and I
you very
hope you're
much.
enjoying the meeting.
Oh, the meeting has been going so well. Again, this is like my first conference ever,
And
and
it's a big one.
it's a big one. So I've enjoyed so many talks. I particularly enjoyed the debate on nomenclature and all of that. Yeah, because I voted and I wanted to be there to hear what the panelists
Yeah.
would say. So it was so interesting, so insightful, so nice.
Did you change your mind? No?
No,
Okay.
my
Me
mind is
either.
fixed on what I voted for.
Me
so
either.
it's yeah,
I'm fixed too.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
I
you very
enjoyed
much for the
talking to
opportunity.
you.